What's wrong?
I have to write a report for school and I don't feel like doing it.
Why not?
Because it's supposed to be a report on salt. Can't you think of anything more boring than that?
Salt's not boring.
What am I supposed to do? Write a whole page on eating French fries?
There's tons of stuff you can write about on salt. Salt's been a big part of the history of South Caicos too.
History? You sprinkle over your dinner plate? End of story?
That's not the end of the story. It's not even the beginning.
How do you know so much?
Can you keep a secret?
What kind of secret?
A big one.
What?
You promise not to tell?
Yes.
Or your eyes will fall out?
Yes.
Or your mouth will close shut?
Yes.
Or your legs will?
Yes, Malika, all of that. What's your secret?
Well, last month I was walking along the beach at East Bay and I found something very special.
What?
A bottle.
I see bottles there all the time.
This bottle was very special. It was a genie's bottle.
A genie? Are you crazy?
I can show him to you.
Do you think this genie is going to help me with my paper?
I can ask him, but you have to promise not to tell.
I remember.
Genie, are you there? Please come out.
If you're holding the bottle, aren't you supposed to be his master?
That's what I thought. It doesn't really work that way. Sometimes when it's in a bad mood, it doesn't do what I tell it to. Genie, are you there?
Who dares wake me up from my sleep? You! I'll turn you into a donkey.
It was her!
Genie, stop scaring him.
Ha ha ha! He really was scared, wasn't he? I'm just kidding, little homie. So what do you need, Malika?
This is Aaron. He has to write a paper about salt, and he doesn't know what to write.
You could talk about all its uses.
Like what?
You know about flavoring food, but it's also used to preserve food. Take a look at this. From soups and beans to collard greens. You know what's the common ingredients in all of this?
Salt?
That's right, but that's not even half of it. I'm talking about back in the days, way back, before refrigerators. Salt was about the only form of preserving food. You couldn't ship fish without it being salted. Malika, do you remember when the salt industry first started?
In the late 1600s over on Grand Turk and Salt Key, but by the 1850s demand from USA and Canada were so high they started salt raking here too.
Very good, Malika. Let us take a little trip.
So where are we? Bobby, how do you do that?
I'm a genie, little homie. I can do all kinds of things. But the important question is, have you ever stopped to wonder why this street is called Butterfield Street?
They used to grow butter there in a field?
No, it's named after Nathaniel T. Butterfield.
That's right, Malika. He was one of the first to invest in the salt industry on South Caicos with the help of the Bahamian governor, Sir Francis Cockburn, who officially visited South Caicos on 1840. That's when we started calling the place
Cockburn Harbor?
Now you're catching on.
What are we doing at the boiling hole?
This place was the key to the whole salt industry on South Caicos.
Because it's connected to the ocean, water would come through here during high tide, and they would use the windmills to pump it into other ponds separated by these walls.
There were at least 4 different stages for the water coming in. As the water sat in the pond, it would evaporate in the sun's heat, but the salt wouldn't go anywhere, so it'd get more and more concentrated salt water.
When the salt water becomes concentrated enough, salt crystals form. Then the crystals can be raked and collected for shipping.
All of that happened here?
It sure did, and for over 100 years. But if you want to get the real story, there are people around here who were living when the salt industry was still active. You need to talk to them.
my early years, my father was what they call pawn captain. He was responsible for seeing that the pawns properly kept and the making of salt. But his main job was to make sure that the pans have sufficient water or brine. We call water brine that makes the salt. The water turns into a liquid brine or something. It turns pinkish.
And I had an uncle who worked salt, and the salt from the ponds were deposited in the township. They had deposits for the salt. The horse and cart, the trucks, they took the salt from the salt pan and they carried it in town.
My dad used to work to the salt pond. When I was like 10, 12, we used to go for wood and walk the salt pond. And the mans, they used to work with boots and with shovels. And shovel up they had little windmills out by the pond. Wake up, your tea getting